Olá meus amigos, muito bom dia, eu sou o Gustavo e este é o nosso canal 4SA Flórida. E mais uma vez aqui parado no estacionamento, são 7 horas e 35 minutos. A transmissão de hoje está renderizando, daqui a pouco estará disponível no canal. Enquanto isso, né, aqui parado e tem ainda alguns minutos, por que não fazer mais um vídeo? Já que eu vou ter que trocar esse telefone, a memória de 128 GB já está ficando, já estou ficando curto de memória aqui no telefone de tanta informação que eu tenho, que eu guardo e que as pessoas mandam para mim, e aos poucos eu vou soltando, né, tudo aquilo que eu tenho. Vou ter que fazer um upgrade no meu telefone e comprar um 8, porque o 10 eu não compro, o iPhone 8 de 256. Mas eu vou tocar a continuação um vídeo, acho que 19, 21 minutos, e de uma forma até humorada, né? Sobre o que tem sido feito no Brasil, o que está acontecendo com a cultura brasileira e os efeitos nocivos que as várias ideologias de Gramsci, de Trotsky, de Lenin e de Marx, de Engels e por aí vai, tem causado ao país, como o Decálogo de Lenin, as 8 condições do Saul Alinsky, que é o guru da Hillary Clinton, foi a tese de mestrado dela quando se formou. Ela falou do Saul Alinsky e tantas outras coisas. Olha, sinceramente, são tantas coisas que às vezes a gente nem sabe por onde começar. Então eu procuro pegar as mais importantes, as mais vigentes e passar para vocês. Então a continuação vocês verão esse vídeo. Eu gostaria que vocês deixassem os seus comentários e, como sempre, podem baixar o material. Eu não vou dar strike, não vou fazer nada com aqueles que baixarem o material, colocarem em suas mídias sociais ou em outros grupos, na sua página do Facebook, porque a minha intenção é de que quanto mais pessoas conhecerem a verdade que liberta, melhor. Então, a continuação, divirtam-se e ao mesmo tempo preocupem-se, porque isso está em pleno curso no nosso Brasil. May Yeshua bless each one of you. I'll see you soon. Tchau.
The ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one-world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is getting me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food, You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
Everything,
you sell.
everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips, and they control people. And you become a slave. You become a serf to these people. That's their goal. That's their intentions.
Eric, can you be specific about when you met Rockefeller, how it happened in these discussions?
I met Rockefeller through a female attorney I knew who called me up one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I had made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him, and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man. And we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts. And he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event. And out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, you know, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we'd go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later 9/11 happened. And I remember he was telling me how how you're going to see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places. And there's going to be this war on terror, which is no real enemy. And the whole thing is a giant hoax, you know, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no question. He says, there's going to be war on terror. And he's just laughing. There's no... Who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11, who were able to, can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by people in our own government and our own banking system to perpetuate the fear of the American people into subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do. That's what it's about, and to create this war, this endless war on terror. And that's why and that was the first lie. And the next lie was going into Iraq, you know, to get Saddam Hussein out with his weapons of mass destruction. That was the next lie.
Now, specifically, this was a little over 6 years ago.
This was
11 months before 9/11.
Yeah.
And Nick Rockefeller, who's a lawyer, he's become your friend over the previous years, and he's saying to you that there's going to be this big event, and then out of that we're going to have a war on terror, and it's just going to go on and on.
Right, an endless war on terror without any real enemy. That you can never, so you can never define a winner.
And did he say that it's going to be perfect because you can't define an enemy? It just goes on and on?
Yeah, because you can't define a winner. There's no one to beat, so it goes on and on forever. And they can do whatever they want. They scare the hell out of the American public. Look, this whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. It's very difficult to say it out loud because people are intimidated against saying it. Because if you say it, they want to make you into a nutcase. But the truth has to come out. That's why I'm doing this interview. The fact of the matter happens to be that the whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. Yeah, there's a war going on in Iraq because we invaded Iraq. And people over there fighting, you know. But the war on terror, that's a joke, you know. And until we discover what really happened on 9/11 and who was responsible for 9/11, because that's where the war on terror emanates from. That's where it comes from. It was 9/11 that allowed this war on terror to begin. And until we get to the bottom root of 9/11, the truth of 9/11, we'll never know about the war on terror.
Aaron, you said that he was, and I think it's important, and I know this about the Rockefellers from Dr. Dennis Cuddy and many others who literally, you'll be 20 years old in a lunch line at college, and there's David Rockefeller. And here's your, I mean, they're experts at recruiting and getting what they call players, and that clearly he was, I mean, I want to make it specific and just get you to reiterate what you said last night about you got 30% of the vote, you were having an effect, you made mad as hell, they knew that you'd started the Constitution Party,
yeah.
They knew that you were
somebody was taking action and getting things done. He'd already made some big films, had a lot of other successes.
Right.
So they were trying to recruit you, and didn't it come down to the point of, hey, we are here to recruit you, and don't worry, your chip's going to say, don't mess with us. You know, this guy's don't touch.
Yeah, yes, that did happen. I was definitely being recruited, but it's more subtle than that.
Well, in your words, just go through the process, and then what he said to you.
Well, what it is remember we were friends, and we used to go to my house a lot. We'd have dinner, we'd talk, and he'd tell me about business investments I get involved in, you know, or they would help me with this business investment or that business investment. And was I interested in joining the Council on Foreign Relations? You know, I would have to get a letter to join them, but was I interested in that? And you know, just stuff, you know, leading you on. And I used to say to him that I never really did that because that wasn't where I was coming from. You know, as much as I like you, Nick, you know, your ways and my ways, we're on the opposite side of the fence. You know, I don't believe in enslaving people, you know, and
he would come back with, oh, I do? Or?
Well, it would be more like, you know...
It's better for them.
Well, it's more like, you know, how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, it was just a lack of caring, you know, and that's just not who I was. It was just sort of like cold, you know. It was just like cold, you know. And I used to say to him, what's the point of all this? You have all the money in the world you need. You have all the power you need. What's the point? You know, what's the end goal? And he said the end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. To have the bankers, the elite people, you know, the bankers and some governor controlling the world. And I said, do all the people in the Council on Foreign Relations believe this way you do? He said, no. You know, most of them believe they're doing the right thing. A lot of them believe it's better off being socialistic. You know, we have to convince people that socialism is really capitalism. Because America is becoming a socialist country. It's a communist country today.
O Brasil sempre foi, é e será um país de imigração. É da nossa história. Agora, a imigração no Brasil é regulada por uma lei de outro tempo, do tempo ainda da ditadura, toda baseada no conceito da segurança nacional, onde o imigrante é visto como uma ameaça. Eu apresentei um projeto de lei aqui no Senado que foi aprovado hoje, que muda inteiramente esse paradigma. Daqui para frente, o imigrante será bem-vindo e nós criaremos condições para que ele se integre na comunidade brasileira. Documentação, acesso a serviços públicos, garantias, sem prejuízo da vigilância necessária para evitar que pessoas condenadas, pessoas envolvidas em crime no exterior, venham para o Brasil.
As pessoas que são contra a descriminalização do aborto, basicamente, o primeiro argumento que se fala, que é o único que eu levo mais ou menos em conta, é aquele que fala assim, pô, você está matando, você está acabando com uma outra vida. Cara, pensa uma coisinha comigo aqui. Você sabe o que é uma vida? Uma vida é algo que nasce, se reproduz e morre. Isso é a definição de vida. Uma mesa, ela nasce, se reproduz e morre? Não. Um feto nasce, se reproduz e morre? Não. Uma criança, sim, nasce, se reproduz e morre. Um feto não. Você definir um feto como uma pessoa que pensa, sente, tem direitos e consciência como uma mulher, por exemplo, cara, isso é um absurdo. Então tira da sua cabeça essa imagem de que aborto é assassinato. Isso não tem nada a ver. Ai, mas hoje só engravida quem é irresponsável, quem quer.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump? Eu não acho que vai acontecer.
Mas e se acontecer?
Não pode acontecer.
Mas não pode. Respondeu.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
Donald Trump will not become president!
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red capes.
Can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit.
He will never be president of the United States.
And we better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket.
Next. I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on to write it down.
And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones, right now, Donald Trump.
Now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president of the United States. He is a travesty.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States.
Let's be clear. Donald Trump will lose the election.
We talk about him every day, and we continuously bash him.
He's not going to be the president. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
This race is over. Tomorrow morning, the money will dry up. The Republicans will start to hide. Trump has no place to go.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Final few words in that poem says, I will not cease from mental flight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land.
Illuminati family that dates back to the 1700s. As a child, he was made to practice black magic and witchcraft. He has acted as an expert on the occult for law enforcement and the FBI. Doc has been a Christian since 1979, but he says that part of his upbringing in a family that worshiped Lucifer was to be taught about the secret Illuminati symbols and that understanding them begins with the Rothschild dynasty.
Now, this next symbol is the foulest and most evil of all symbols in the occult world. There is nothing that can even come close. It is known as the hexagram. It is the six-pointed star with a circle surrounding it. It is this symbol that must be used during high ceremonial magic or high ceremonial witchcraft when you are summoning up demons to this plane of existence.
Fear not, for your war-stricken, poverty-ridden planet. You are safe. Help is on the way. Your prosperity is the core objective of our universal design. The path for humanity has spanned throughout ages to ensure the survival and prosperity of the human species. War is a liar who claims there isn't enough land, isn't enough wealth, isn't enough food for all people, in all places to live in abundance. A different age is upon us. Fear not for the bursting sounds that echo across your red horizons. Prepare your life for the light that grows steadily brighter in the distance. As the dawn comes to rid your battlefields of darkness, the age of Illuminatium will begin. Fear nothing. We are always watching out for you. To find out more about our organization and your part in the universal design, visit Illuminati